Mora bom dia, goeiemorgen, welcome, good morning, welcome. Eu quero agradecer cada um de vocês para estar presente hoje. Me saco vos no tempo de valioso e nos apreciarem. Before I start my presentation, I'd like to know, before this event, how many of you had heard of BPM? Hands up, please. Well, that's good, I'm very pleased. How many of you are here out of personal interest? Okay, almost half. And I assume the rest of you are here out of business interest? Oh, also, okay, yeah, a lot of people are business and personal. We stimulate businesses to implement environment, quality, and occupational health and safety management systems, what we call EQUAS. In Holland, it's known as KAM, Kwaliteit, Arbeids en Milieu. So we support these initiatives from anybody, so if you have a project coming up or an event, we'll gladly help you to do that. We create partnerships with local and international organizations like the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. And our most recent initiative is called the Minimum Sustainability Standards. So this is a local sustainability certification process where we encourage our members to implement concrete actions. For example, separating your waste to recycle it, installing LED lamps, having activities for your personnel. And you get points for every action that you implement. We do an assessment and then you get certified. And there's 3 different levels. So far in Curacao, 7 companies have MSS level 1. And you can see them up here. And for example, Curado, they do a lot of their products, they sell them in Holland. And having MSS certification really helps their marketing. What are some of the benefits for members? Well, increased efficiency, lower costs, effectiveness, and of course being more sustainable. You also get discounts on workshops, like today. You enjoy a complimentary CEO event. We try to get the CEOs out from behind their desk, and we go, for example, you see a picture here, we went underwater scooting, we go horseback riding, and then we end the evening with a nice dinner. We also give out an award for the most sustainable company on Curacao, the Sustainable Innovation Award, together with the Curacao Institute for Technology and Innovation. And we also give 3 or 4 presentations or conferences or seminars per year, always focused on environment, quality, and health and safety, including field trips, and here are some of our past examples. And I'm proud to announce that this is our biggest event ever. We're completely sold out, more than 200 people. Once again, thank you for being here. But why BPM? Because worldwide, sustainability issues receive increasing attention, not only because it's necessary, but it makes social and economic sense. Institutes like MIT and the Harvard Business School, they've conducted studies, and companies that are more sustainable are also more profitable and more innovative. Also, sustainability is big business. There's lots of business opportunities. You can see here, these are just a couple of highlights that I got recently. £1 million in funding to boost combating marine plastic pollution. $1 billion in battery storage. So this is an opportunity that Curacao needs to grab. A local example is Damen Shipyards. Most of you know that Damen took over Dockmaatschapppij. One of their conditions for taking it over was they had to be ISO 14000 environmentally certified. So more and more, if you're not sustainable, you're not going to get business. It's becoming a condition to do business. In the bottom right here, that's an electric quad. I'm still waiting for some companies to start a nice quad tour operating with all electric quads, because people from Europe really want to be more sustainable. So, why now? Sustainability is where business is going worldwide. It's the future of business. And Curacao, we don't want to stay behind. So I invite you to join us to become a member of BPM. There's a table on the side over there where you'll find some more information about BPM and, of course, registration forms. So why are we here today? Why a seminar on electric vehicles? Today's speakers will discuss some of the following themes in detail, but I'm just going to go over them quickly. The main reason is the world is going EV. Several manufacturers, Volvo, Honda, and Volkswagen, they've already announced they're only going to produce electric vehicles in the future. If If you look here in Norway, it's already 50% of all vehicles there are electric. Hopefully Curacao will be there soon. It's also the fastest growing market segment in the automobile industry. Compare the amount of EVs that were sold in Holland in 2017 to 2018, it tripled. I was talking with my son the other day and talking about EVs. He's 17 years old and he's going to get his driver's license in a little while. And he was telling me, Dad, why do I have to learn skakeling? Why do I have to learn manual driving? EVs are going to be here. And I personally think Curacao is ideal for EVs. There's a very short driving distance, so you'll never run out of battery. If you couple it with solar energy, you'll never have to pay Aqualectra or Pure Oil ever again. Some people in here won't like to hear that. There's a gentleman here, Franz Viquet. He has solar panels and an EV, so I talked to him, see what his experience is. It's really incredible. And the government has been kind enough to put 0% import duties on electric vehicles. So already you're saving 27% when you get a car. As you're all aware, we're already feeling the effects of climate change. Your current vehicle, unless you're driving an EV, contributes to climate change. EVs have zero CO2 emissions. So we need to go away from being part of the problem to becoming part of the solution. And climate change has direct consequences for Curacao. We all remember Thomas and the flooding in Curacao. Global sea levels are set to rise, sometimes between 1 and 3 meters, they say. What's that going to do to our downtown, Kunda, Otra Banda, our World Heritage sites if they're underwater? Or we won't have any beaches. Oceans are heating up, acidifying. Corals are dying. How many tourists will visit Curacao in the future if we have no more beaches and no more reefs? On March 15th, 1.4 million students worldwide protested in climate change inaction. That in itself is a miracle. My kids only protest when I take away their iPhone. But they're angry at us. They're angry at our generation for not doing enough. We cannot fail our children. We need to take action. There's also health consequences continuing to drive.
On the topic of electric vehicles, and I will do this in the context of our economy and our energy policy. Transportation is an essential part of our economy, and today our transport sector is mainly based on conventional vehicles technologies operating within a dense modern road network. A network that allows manufacturers to acquire the necessary to produce and deliver their goods. It connects producers to consumers, and it connects people to work and to schools, and it makes a wide and varied range of leisure and business activities possible, such as tourism. On the other hand, transportation contributes to roughly 50% of our fossil fuel imports to the island, and as such also accounts for a significant contribution in carbon dioxide emissions. And as part of our country-wide efforts to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals, this has our attention. Our national energy policy promotes a reduction of the national energy consumption per capita with at least 35% before 2040, and also supports the implementation of renewables in our energy mix. And this also entails opportunities in transport for achieving reductions in fossil fuel imports to Curacao. These opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, could be achieved by a triple strategy approach: avoid, reduce, and replace. Avoid mobility of possible issues, for example, by promoting alternatives like using more telecommunication facilities during seminars, during meetings. Reduce energy consumption of transport by utilizing more energy-efficient transport modes. For example, more public transportation instead of private cars. Replace conventional transport fuels, diesel and petrol, by economically available cleaner and renewable fuels. And as we all know, worldwide we see the positive trends of countries and their organizations boosting the use of electric vehicles. Almost all car manufacturers have indicated that they will, in one or the other way, stop producing conventional cars, and it is expected that by 2050, only electric cars will be on the market. We already see on the island some electric vehicles driving around, and some of these are standing outside for you to experience. I just had the experience by being a passenger in one of them. We need to embrace this development as it offers opportunities for the island, its economy, its environment, and its people. And this is a new development on the island. It could also support innovation, implementing new business models to support this change and modernize the way of doing business. And this trend also fits perfectly in our ministry's policy endeavors to support the development of smart city, smart nation concepts on the island. But there are also challenges. For example, how to deal with the used batteries, the safety, charging infrastructure, car insurance, tax provisions, etc. Aspects which we have our attention and are being worked on as we speak. As we, the government, are in the beginning of the introduction of electric vehicles on the island, it is very important to educate, bring knowledge to the island, and involve the whole community in this new development. As such, I applaud the work done by the Curaçao Business Council of Sustainable Development, the organizers of this conference, and all the sponsors supporting it. I see the introduction of electric vehicles as a basis for a very interesting new future, and would like to invite the private sector to join this moving train. We, the government, but especially my Ministry of Economic Development, will help where possible to facilitate this development to make it a success. In ending, I would like to wish you all a very inspiring and knowledge and enriching conference, and thank you for listening this morning. Have a nice day. Thank you.